Thomas Jefferson himself said, "I think our government will remain virtuous for many centuries as long as they are chiefly agricultural. This will be as long as there shall be vacant lands in any part of America. When they get piled upon one another in large cities as in Europe, they will become corrupt as in Europe." Once the United States Civil War was over, the industrialists, being the North, slowly started to take over government and tried as hard as possible to destroy independent farmers. The goal is to make the population dependent on government corporations for food, therefore ruling over them. This has happened in other industrial countries as well.
The majority have no idea how to farm or have the stomach to raise their own meat anymore. We entrust complete strangers to give us our food at their prices.
Most people would run to the now overbearing government for help. This same government that has merged our works with these corporations. If you cannot sustain yourself and be independent of government, you are not free.
Most people take supermarkets for granted, never thinking how food can be used to control them, making them dependent. If our ancestors saw us today, and we told them that we don't even know how to make food without it being placed into boxes, bags, etc., they would most likely be horrified that we don't even know how to feed ourselves without help.
If people saw with their eyes on how corporations treat animals and how they slaughter them, most will be horrified. The way many treat them and what they do to them is criminal. Not to mention the poor conditions can lead back to you after you eat the animal. Is it so horrible to think of growing your own food and raising your own animals? Imagine working on your own land and being self-sustaining. Imagine not going to a miserable 9-to-5 job and contributing nothing to the human race or families besides earning pieces of paper and numbers.
Imagine what kind of world we could live in if we all respected the land and our fellow animals that share the planet with us. Industry isn't evil, but evil people control industry. They pollute our water, pollute our air, and feed us all types of chemicals through our food. They tell us not to trust Mother Nature, but to instead take their man-made pharmaceutical drugs. They use their money to make their life fun and simple, while people around the world are suffering because they don't have enough of this elite bankers' currency.
Right now we have so much food in our supermarkets that people cannot even fathom where all that food comes from or that it could ever stop flowing into the stores for us. They cannot imagine that an economic crisis will make food prices soar. Without oil, how do you expect to get food across states, provinces, countries, and oceans? If the price of oil was to skyrocket, do they not realize that the price of food would follow as well?
People are so lost in their fantasy land of magic, food, and water just appearing, they wouldn't know what to do if they stopped. We have handed over our souls so we can be lazy and be taken care of. I suggest you start to think about this and how to survive. If you think just running to the government will save you, good luck with that. History says giving yourself over to a big and corrupt government can be very hazardous to your health, especially since that same government, banks, and corporations have caused this to begin with.